get our other. Oh, I see Commissioner Butler and Omar as well. Okay, they're cutting on right now. And folks, I know you haven't seen our faces yet, so we're just getting that situated where you'll be able to see us. So if you can hold on momentarily.
So let me get Julie soon.
Okay. Let me do one more thing. We will. I'm gonna leave it here. Yeah. So we'll get started. Oh, I know I it's on it. I apologize. Let me just all right. Okay. Use hiding. Okay, we can go ahead and get started now. Chairman, you can share that place of is here.
Oh, yes.
I do hear some feedback.
Yeah, it's not muted. It's each of five.
I think we need to. Okay.
Annette, we do have a visitor from the public
Okay.
just joined us in person.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, for now, I'm just muting everyone. So when we start the conversations, you can unmute yourself. And we are already recording. The time is 1:39. And I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to Chairman Reiner, if you can.
Yes, well, thank you, Annette. So we have 13 people. I'd like to welcome you all to one of our first meetings for the 7th round of water planning for Region E. And so good afternoon. Do we have any public comment?
I think we will have public comment, and what we'll do is if it's all right with the chair, I think we can perhaps allow public comment when our agenda items come up where they may want to speak to that. Because I think that there are several individuals who would like to perhaps speak to agenda item number 9. So maybe we go through our agenda, and then when we get to 9, we can open it up to the public, if that's all right with you. If anyone would like to make a public comment that's outside of the groundwater permit application process that was done for the Pecos County water resources, you can provide a public comment now. If you want to wait to speak to that, then we'll discuss that and when we get to agenda item 9. Is that okay?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right.
Annette,
Yes, sir.
Annette, and Mr. Chairman, I'm going to have to probably ring off here before 2 o'clock. So if we want to have a quorum for any votes that we're going to take, I'd like to ask that you adjust the agenda accordingly. if we're short of quorum.
Okay. Hi, Alderman Black. I think, let's see. What we can do then is we're gonna, every item that we do have, we can go ahead and move on to our agenda items that do require approval so we can keep our quorum. So, Chairman, if you would like to address item 4,
Yes.
and then we'll move on to 6 and 7.
Okay. Item number 4, review and approve the minutes for the general meeting held on June 10th, 2026.
Hey, Scott, I've got a question. This is Dave. I've got a question about item 5. I was hoping Omar would be on the line this time. Does anybody know if any applications have been submitted to that grant program from Region E?
Omar is on the line, sir.
Oh, okay.
That's not.
There are-
the minutes though, right? That's
Yeah, we're just gonna address the minutes first. Yes, sir. So we just need approval on the minutes from agenda
So
item number
moved.
4. I think we have a motion from Mayor Webb,
Yep.
Chairman Reiner.
Okay. Any,
There's a second.
is there a second?
I
Hey,
have a comment.
Scott, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, okay. I had a question on the minutes on item 5. Do we need to address that before we approve them, or do we do that after?
It sounds like we're trying to review and approve the minutes, item 4. And you-
Yeah, I'm talking about the minutes.
Okay,
And it's
but-
item 5 of the minutes, which I have a question on.
oh,
Okay. So I'm gonna pull up the minutes right now. What is your, Mr. Hall?
I'm just wondering if any applications were submitted by Region E to the grant process.
Okay, sir. So you don't have any corrections to the minutes. You're just wanting to ask that clarification. So can we move that on to the agenda 5 underwater development? Board?
Yeah, it's just a question. I don't have any problem with the minutes. I just have to ask a question about it.
I think it probably will be better suited for us to address that under 5.
Can y'all hear me?
yes,
Okay, I have a correction or at least a clarification for the minutes
Yes, sir.
under, and it's just, the sentence wasn't very clear to me, so I just thought we could maybe clear it. Excuse me while I try to find it again. It's under item 5. It says there are 3 eligible project categories and then it lists 5 things separated by commas. Maybe that sentence could be cleared up because I wasn't quite clear what the 3 categories were.
Mr. Bennett, can you tell me the number again, what that one was?
Item 5.
5. Okay, we need to
Third-
clarify on
third
5.
sentence. Third sentence, there are 3 eligible project categories, and then it lists 5 items.
Okay,
I'm assuming some of that's clarifying the previous item, but it's all separated by commas, so it's not clear.
we will make that correction.
Thank you.
Was there anything else?
Nope.
Okay.
I move to accept the minutes.
With that correction?
Yeah.
Okay.
Second.
second. That, Jeff,
Yes, we have a second from Jeff Bennett and then,
any discussion? Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion passes. So we've just passed item 4. We're on to item 5. This looks like an update on what Dave Hall was asking about, and I think that's with Omar.
yes, sir. So we do not have Mr. Alfaro on the line right now from Water Development Board. So I don't have anything else to report out from Water Development Board, but I do know that applicants such as Lower Valley Water District, the El Paso County Water Improvement District number 4, as well as I believe, and Mr. Kennedy's on the line now, so he might be able to answer for me. They were intending on applying as well, and so did Tornillo Water Improvement District or Water District, so they did submit an application also. So we have about 4 to 5 applications from our region, Mr. Hall, who have applied.
I've been told Presidio applied.
And Presidio did as well. Okay, and that's what I was going to ask John about, Mr. Kennedy.
Yes, thank you all for your assistance with getting that in at the last minute.
So those are the numbers of applicants that went in from our region, Dave.
Okay, Annette, is it possible for us to have those documented back to the group here, maybe at our next meeting or something? So we know what they were and how they fit into
Yes.
our plan?
I sure will.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Annette, what was
Annette, this is Jay. Was this for the HB 500, the submittal on these grants that was that were due last month?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, the district submitted application as well.
Oh, you did as well. Okay, great. Okay, yes, I will get a list of that for you all in terms of who applied.
So it sounds like about 4 or 5,
Maybe 6, yeah.
6 agencies within the Geneva group applied for this House bill. I had the same comments that Jay had. This is for House Bill 500.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Be also
Okay.
interesting to see how many submissions were across the entire state, you know, and how we compared. I think that'd be interesting too.
Okay. I don't know if we'll have that, if it'll be that detailed as of yet, but I'll see what I can get for our next meeting, depending how quickly we meet again, when that will be.
Whenever. Thanks, Annette.
Thank you.
Any more discussion on item 5? I think we kind of discussed it, but we didn't have a Texas Water Development Board.
No, we don't have Mr. Alfaro on the line, so I'll get with him for our next meeting, but so we don't have anything else to report out from Water Development Board.
So in summary, we discussed the funding opportunity, House Bill 500 that was due last month, and it looks like about 5 to 6 agencies within Region E applied for this.
Yes.
Okay, so there's our brief update.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're on now to item 6. Consider, discuss, and take appropriate action to authorize Carollo Engineers, Inc. as the technical consultant for the 7th cycle of regional water planning.
All right. Yes, so we did have our RFQ out for our technical consultants. We rolled that out more than a month ago, and applications were due July 27th. We only received one application or one proposal, and that was from Carollo Engineers. Our executive committee did meet last week to discuss Carollo. They did score the proposal that was submitted. And if I may speak on behalf of the committee, the recommendation from the committee is to authorize for the board to authorize Carollo Engineers to serve as our technical consultant for the 7th cycle of the regional water plan. And so that is our request to this body for approval. Are there any questions for staff or for the executive committee? And we do have Ms. Jackson on the line, who is serving, who has been the point of contact for Carollo and has been serving as our consultant.
You need a motion to approve, so motion?
Yes, sir.
I'll
Also
second.
Second, Dave.
So we got the Daves.
Dave,
Okay.
Dave,
Dave and
team.
Dave.
Yeah. Double D. Sorry.
Be careful with
Any
that.
discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Okay. We are now ready for item 7. Consider, discuss, and take appropriate action to authorize the political subdivision, Rio Cog, to enter into a contract with technical consultant.
Yes, and just to make sure that we're clear in our intent, we want to be able to enter into a contract with the technical consultants. We don't have that document as of yet. You all just approved for us to allow Corello engineers to serve as our consultants. So now we're asking for approval to be able to construct that contract. As we have in the previous years, these contracts are fairly prescribed by the Water Development Board, so there won't be too much variation to that in terms of the language that we are required to use. And so we're asking for approval to allow us to go into contract. If you do allow us to do that, we'll start the negotiations with Corello, and then we can bring back to you a completed document for you to review and approve as well. Are there any questions for staff? Oh, just need a motion. Yes, sir.
So moved.
Okay,
Second.
Second by Becky.
Okay, so we got a motion from Alderman Black, okay, and a second from Becky Brewster.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes. We are now on to item 8. Consider, discuss, and take appropriate action to approve the FY 27 and 28 Far West Texas Water Planning Group Administrative Agreement and Membership Dues.
Yes, sir. As you all are aware, we are able to function as this group because of your generosity to the Council of Governments in terms of your commitment to water planning and your allowance to have us request from you membership dues. And so with the membership dues, that would allow us to continue our staff time that we have allocated to this 7th cycle. And so what we show here on this spreadsheet is a breakout of the populations of our communities, and then what that percentage is against the entity in terms of the amount that we'll be requesting. And so you can see here from 1 up until 17, these are the communities that we're asking for membership dues to be paid. And then 18 through 24 are those groundwater district or underground or underwater control districts as well. So on 18 through 24, you'll see that we're requesting for a contribution of 500 from all of those entities, with the exception of El Paso County Water Improvement District number 1, where we would be asking for 2,500. And then when you see from 1 through 17, you'll see the cost that we have associated to the entities, and the bulk of the cost is associated to El Paso Water. And so if approved, this amount would be for the total amount that we would be requesting in terms of collection is we would be looking to collect $66,947. And again, that would be used for our staff time. And then again, the majority of the monies from this membership dues does come from El Paso Water. In addition to the worksheet, we do have the administrative agreement that we would ask for you to consider approval as well. And so that document is coming up soon, if I can get it to come back. Let's see.
Annette, before you leave that, any changes from last year?
No, sir, we're asking for the same amount.
Okay, and did everybody pay last year?
So right now we're August 13th. We've got a month and what, 17 days before we're done with the fiscal year. We still need to, we're still asking for membership dues from Town of Anthony, El Paso County, and Terrell County. And so we're still going to keep making that request. And I know that it seems a bit odd to be asking for membership dues when you're so late in the fiscal year, but this happens every year. There might be some oversights for whatever reason. And so we'll be asking these communities to inform us if they're able to pay those dues, so that way we can have that recorded on our books.
You did include El Paso County as unpaid?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Okay, thanks.
And like I said, I think it's just some procedural things, so we're still at it, making that request.
Okay.
So in addition to that worksheet, this is the agreement that we provide. We haven't made any changes to the agreement in terms of the language. This is what we've been using for the last 2 cycles. And this would be an agreement that we have between ourselves and each entity individually. And what's most important to note is that if at some point the water planning group were to dissolve, any of those funds go back to those communities. They don't stay with the council of governments. So that's something else I think that's worth noting in terms of how we process that. And so if we're allowed to do this, and if we get the approval from you, we'll start issuing our invoices late September, early October for the next fiscal year. Are there any questions for me?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay.
Second.
Alderman Block?
Right.
Okay.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Okay, so we did item 8, number 9.
Yes, and it's gonna come, here we go. It's coming up.
Okay.
And yes, number 9.
Okay. Consider, discuss, and take possible action regarding the Colorado River Municipal Water District groundwater well permit applications and potential impacts to Pecos County water resources.
Yes, I'm gonna pull up the public notice that was provided, and I do need to make the clarification that it's actually Middle Pecos Groundwater Conservation District. And they did hold a public hearing on applications for drilling permits on July 21st, 2026. And it does show that the notice was given by the Colorado River Municipal District. And so I don't know what action we may want to take out of this. Maybe it's just direction to staff, but we were made aware of this hearing from former County Judge Val Beard. We also heard from Susan Combs, former Commissioner for Agriculture, and there's some deep concern for this initiative because of what it may entail for the aquifer, the Marathon aquifer. And so I do have, and Jennifer, I know that you weren't. I didn't ask for you to speak on this, but you and I were on the call with Ms. Combs. And just in terms of what we can and cannot do, so to speak, with regard to the planning group, is there anything you would like to maybe add to the conversation?
I don't have anything particular that I'd like to add. Annette, I think you would do a better job kind of summarizing what we had talked to her about and where we thought we could go with some of those requests.
Okay, all right. So, and I know that this is going to be a section here for those to talk about public comment. What I think Ms. Combs was most concerned about was how can we verify water data to have as accurate as possible, knowing what our water resources are. And so as we're rolling out our 7th cycle, if there are some things that the Council of Governments can do that might be outside of the Water Development Board, because of your allowance to have us charge these membership dues, we can still do some work that's outside of what is required of Water Development Board. So we don't know exactly what that would look like, what kind of data you would want us to start acquiring. But if it's okay with the group, we can maybe open it up now to public comment to hear from others, because I think they will have a lot of information to provide us on. And for those with public comment, just as a reminder, you will make your comments. We can't answer to you directly, but this is an agenda item that we're talking about as a group collectively. Before we do that, we do have Mr. Bennett, who just raised his hand, Chair.
Okay. Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, I think I'd prefer to wait till after public comment because I don't want to, they may say what I was going to say. So let me wait.
Okay,
Jeff did make a comment stating that it's the Capitan Aquifer versus the Marathon Aquifer.
okay, okay. So I said Marathon Aquifer, Jeff has corrected that it's the Capitan Aquifer. So, Aaron, would you mind coming up here so you can start taking notes on the public comment? When you make your public comment, you state your name. And then if you want to state just what entity you're with or organization, or if you're just public citizen, so we can have that recorded. We are recording it now, but that way we can have that information as well. Is there anyone who would like to make a public comment?
Miss Gavin, are you on to Sharon Gavin? I saw you joined earlier. You might want to unmute yourself.
Yeah. There, I just did. I didn't want to have any background noise earlier. Thank you for allowing the opportunity for public comment. The reason that I even found this was because I was traveling on Tuesday, and there was a large truck with the water transport on the back of it. It didn't have a license plate, but the driving of the truck was unsafe. So I looked up to see, what groundwater permits were in the area and who might be transporting that volume of water. And I came upon this, y'all's agenda. I looked at Brewster County. The truck was on 385. It was coming south, either out of Fort Stockton or Marathon. And I just wanted to join this meeting because I was curious as to what these two items were about, and if that could have some sort of impact on that water and where it was coming from. We couldn't call in the vehicle because there were no license plates on it, and there weren't any defining marks on the cab of the truck either to know who the contractor might be, if it was a contractor or a transport company.
Now, yesterday,
So I'm just
yesterday, Ms. Gavin, on when you called the office, you did state that you noticed that water transport truck was headed down to the Big Bend National Park for the border wall, correct?
I don't know that for certain that it went down there for that construction, but that's all that I know of down there that it could have been going towards.
Right.
385 south towards Panther Junction.
Right. And that's just our assumption during our conversation yesterday, so that everyone's on the same page. We do have another person that did join the meeting in person from Jeff Davis County, correct, ma'am?
Yes, I'm Annette Carter from.
That's part of from Jeff Davis County. Did you want to give a public comment by chance?
I'm here to simply observe and listen and learn.
Okay.
I attended the Jeff Davis County commission meeting on Tuesday and found out that this meeting was on our website for Jeff Davis County. And so I'm here because I found out about it and thought I'd like to get some information and they're prepared if I do need to make a comment.
Sure. Well, thank you for traveling all this way to join us. We greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Aaron, the other thing too was when I saw this agenda and the La Escalera Ranch, that's where I made the connection that I thought, because it is off of 385 as well. So that's what drew my attention to this, and was hoping to get some more confirmation if the water was going from the ranch to a certain project, or if it was in the process of being approved by your board, this board, for another use.
Yeah. Definitely something to take into account, to consider, regarding this matter. Annette did have to, make a phone call real quick. She'll be right back. I think your question, Ms. Gavin, if you can restate that question when Annette gets back, so that we can have proper direction on the direction that Annette would like to take regarding this.
And then at some point, Jeff Bennett, if he chooses to, had a comment.
Yes.
So
I can do that now. So, Jeff Bennett, as most of y'all know, I'm in Alpine. So the reports that we're hearing are, and I don't see it in this public notice from the Vegas Water, the district over there in Fort Stockton, but the Colorado River District wants to locate and take basically all the modeled available groundwater, 26 million acre feet or something. It was, and what the MAG says is 26.1. Maybe there's somebody on here that can add clarity to that, but that's the reports that we're hearing. And in terms of data that the landowners, the neighboring landowners would like to collect, and maybe the COG could get involved here, is current water levels in their wells, and in monitoring their wells during the pumping tests that the municipal water district wants to do on those 2 wells. So, you know, there's a lot of concern with the neighboring. There's a dozen wells across 6 or 8 properties there in the Glass Mountains, and I don't know anybody that's not concerned. There might be a landowner that's not concerned, but I haven't met that person yet. So there are real concerns that their wells will go dry. They don't have a seat at the table. They don't have any, you know, recourse to get their wells deepened. And, you know, I don't think anybody's wants to stick it to the people of you know, Abilene and Big Spring, but there are concerns that their resources are not being looked out for. So I think that's where the neighboring landowners might have a request of somebody who could help them out, is to get some water level data in their wells right now and during the pumping tests.
And I was just informed that Ms. Gavin had a question. You can ask the question, Ms. Gavin, but I will get you information after. We can't answer that now. But did you want to state your question?
Sorry, I guess my main question was, you know, is this water that's called out on this agenda, is it water that's being pumped out of the county? I'm in Brewster County. I know the ranch itself is in Pecos and Brewster County. So I'm just wondering what specifically, you know, are these permits related to, and will it impact us, you know, in Brewster County? Because everyone knows we're all under, you know, water concerns right now. But also, you know, if that water is going to a project in the park, I thought that had to have a special permit for transportation from one county to another.
Thank you, Ms. Gavin. I will take
Can I comment on that right quick?
Mr. Leary.
Yes. The water in question is from a in the tankers that I believe you saw, is from a production permitted well in Marathon. And that water is being used not only, I don't know if it's in the park yet, but there are 2 projects outside of the park that are currently using water like that. So far as the Escalera permit, those wells have not been drilled yet. They were applying for permits for the test wells. The permits have not been approved by the board yet. The 21st of July, that meeting, they tabled it until next Monday, the 17th. And they'll have another public hearing in regards only to the application for the 2 test wells.
Okay, thank you.
Does that help?
Yes, sir, it does. Thank you.
And just to be sure that we stay within the guidelines for Open Meetings Act, we won't be able to answer directly to these questions, but we can take that information and report it back to the public as we have our next meeting. So, Chair, I do see Ms. Evans has her hand up under public comment.
Yes, Ms. Evans.
Hi, good
Yes.
afternoon.
Thank you all very much for having us. I don't have a question. I really have a comment. You know, we are seeing some profound changes in our region currently, and some of which have been brought about by this border wall stuff, but that's also bringing a lot of other possible changes into the light. There are some data center issues. There's many issues, some new things that we're all facing. And I'm just here, as I've been showing up to meetings across the region now, as an engaged citizen, and to show my interest and to show the interest of all of the people in our communities. I think we're about to see some really, really big things happening in our region. And I hate for you guys that you're on the front lines of it, but you are. So thank you for your time and thank you for your attention, and decisions that you guys make on this board is actually going to be significant for the next 25, 50, 100 years for all of us, for our children, our grandchildren. So thank you very much.
Are there any other public comments? If there are no other public comments, hopefully based on what discussed with you all, are there any, is there any direction that this group would want to give staff in terms of this conversation that we've been having? So is there anything you would like for us to bring back to you for our next meeting with regard to this item?
I guess mine would be, is there any type of legal restraints or accountability with these permits, especially considering what Ms. Evans brought up? The water issues go beyond just, you know, data centers. We're talking about border wall, and we had the immigration centers coming towards us. A lot of things that are going to take quite a bit of water. Is there anything legally?
What I can do is report back for our next meeting. We can get you information on that in terms of what recourse is for our entities. So that's one of the things that we can do.
I also would like more information on the impact that it's going to have on it.
Okay. And then Jennifer, if I can then ask you, you know, let's just say all these things do happen and they're progressing along. How does that how do you take that into account as you start preparing our next cycle?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I know that the Water Development Board has been in a lot of discussions with this rise in data centers, and they're trying to figure out a way to incorporate into our scope of work and provide some guidelines on how we project, you know, future data centers. And as of right now, we have not been notified what those guidelines might be, what that, you know, process may look like. So there's a lot of concern, not just with myself, but other consultants regarding current data centers and any kind of future data centers. And I think one of the things that I remember coming up in our conversation with Ms. Combs is that the governor had given a directive around data centers that they had to go through a criteria with EPCOT and other agencies. However, that doesn't include those individuals that have ranches and land where they don't have to step through any of that oversight. And so, you know, the question to the Water Development Board that we've all been asking is, what do we do to prepare regional water plans and be good stewards of our limited resources when it comes to these data centers and the amount of water that they may be looking to take? So I'll just continue to follow that closely. And as I hear more, I'll report back, Annette, to the planning group.
Okay, thank you.
Hey,
So-
hey, Annette, I have
Yes,
a
sir.
question about the drilling permit. What's the purpose of the water? Is that listed lower on the permit that we can't see on the screen?
I don't believe that it states exactly how it's intended to be used.
It doesn't list an intended purpose of the water out of the two wells?
Yeah,
So-
it does. If you go up, Annette, as you were making the font bigger, we've lost right there. First paragraph, last sentence says that the purpose will be public supply and industrial supply.
Oh, for possible export. Okay, I see it now. All right,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yep.
That could just be export to another county though, correct?
Yes, they're exporting to another county. So the question is, what's the end user needing that water for?
But I
Yeah,
don't know, it would have to get into that specifics to inform who is going to be the end user. I think that's something we would need to find out.
I'm guessing there's some kind of agenda there that's not totally written in the permit request.
And so one other thing that we can do as staff is, so far we've direction has been just provide us with some legal actions that perhaps communities can take, if any. The other one is just starting to think about how this is going to impact our water, specifically with our plan. And then the other one is that we can be monitoring districts to see if there's other water districts that are looking at doing the same, just to keep their water group informed of those activities.
I would just make a comment from what I'm reading here. There is a concept that there might be water in the aquifer. They're asking for permission and a permit to drill and provide test data to the state based on pumping rate drawdown to see if a rate is sustainable. And then they would report that back to the district. And based on that data, it would be whether or not the district approves this as a source of water. Right now, I think I would look at that and say it's an estimate. Geologically, everything's unknown when you're drilling a well. And so that's an estimate. Maybe it's an optimistic hope of what this can provide, but they're asking permission to peel some layers of the back and see what this aquifer really provides at this place. And then the district would decide if they approve it.
And Chair, you do have hands up from Chair Butler and from Ms. Hayes.
Okay. Let's start with the Commissioner.
Okay, Commissioner Butler?
Thank you, Annette. What would be helpful for me, I think, is maybe a discussion about this group's legal rights and responsibilities as it pertains to this action. And also an overview of this issue, where it is in the process for permissions and how many do they need?